The flickering screen, a digital siren's call, beckoned Amelia into a labyrinth of the internet, a world of interconnected servers and data streams where anonymity reigned and truths were fractured. A place where the whispers of the unseen echoed in the silent corners of the digital realm. Amelia, a young woman haunted by a past trauma, found herself drawn into a vortex of online despair, a descent into the darkest corners of the digital underworld. The 4 rabbit holes, each a gateway to a different, disturbing reality, awaited. The first, a forum for self-harm, where pain and suffering were traded like digital currency. The second, a swirling vortex of conspiracy theories and extremist ideologies, whispering doubts and fueling fears. The third, a marketplace of forbidden knowledge, where morality was a forgotten relic. And the final, a digital arena of relentless stalking and harassment, stripping individuals bare. These rabbit holes weren't just online spaces, they were portals to fractured realities, each more unsettling than the last. They were insidious, corrupting the very essence of those who ventured too deep. Amelia, drawn by a desperate need for connection and understanding, found herself trapped in a digital nightmare, her sanity teetering on the brink. The initial conflict brewed silently. Amelia, initially a casual explorer, was slowly consumed by the disturbing realities she encountered. The echoes of her past trauma resonated within these digital spaces, amplifying her anxieties and vulnerabilities. Each rabbit hole was a mirror reflecting her deepest fears, a chilling reminder of the darkness lurking just beneath the surface of the digital world. The digital ether hummed with a low, unsettling thrum. Servers, vast and silent, housed the fragmented realities of the internet. Flickering screens illuminated a landscape of anonymity, where avatars replaced faces and words masked intentions. This was a world of shared experiences and terrifying isolation, where truth was a malleable construct. Amelia, haunted by the ghosts of her past, navigated this digital labyrinth. Her eyes, once bright with curiosity, now held a flicker of fear. A quiet desperation drove her, a need to understand the unsettling whispers echoing in the online void. She sought solace in the digital world, a place where she felt unseen, unheard, yet somehow connected. Her counterpart, a shadowy figure known only as the Curator, lurked in the digital shadows. Driven by a twisted sense of order, the Curator manipulated the rabbit holes, pulling individuals into their depths. Their motivations remained veiled, a chilling enigma in the digital darkness. Their presence, like a malevolent force, amplified the anxieties and fears within the digital space. The forums, dimly lit and filled with cryptic messages, were the first gateways. The whispers of self-harm, the echoes of extremism, the promises of forbidden knowledge, all beckoned with an unsettling allure. The Curator, unseen, controlled the flow of information, manipulating the narrative within these digital realms. The air crackled with unspoken tensions. Amelia's past trauma, a silent wound, fueled her descent into the digital abyss. The Curator, an unseen force, watched from the periphery, orchestrating the chaos. Their paths, destined to collide, were intertwined in a digital ballet of fear and despair. A hidden message within the self-harm forum revealed a disturbing pattern. The Curator wasn't just observing, they were manipulating the very fabric of these digital hellscapes. Amelia, realizing the true extent of their power, felt a chilling dread. The rabbit holes weren't isolated, they were interconnected, a horrifying network of digital despair. Amelia, driven by a desperate need to understand the Curator's motives, sought answers within the labyrinthine forums. Her initial goal was simple: escape the rabbit holes. But each step deeper revealed a more complex web of manipulation. The first obstacle was the anonymity itself. The voices, though numerous, remained shrouded in digital shadows. The Curator's influence became increasingly apparent. They controlled the flow of information, shaping narratives and twisting realities. Amelia's initial attempts to navigate the rabbit holes were met with subtle yet powerful obstacles. Hidden commands, manipulated connections, and the escalating sense of isolation were her first tests. A secondary subplot emerged, a hidden online community of dissenters fighting against the Curator's control. They were a scattered group, their voices barely audible above the chaos. Their existence, a beacon of hope, became Amelia's guiding light. Their fragmented messages hinted at a larger conspiracy, a hidden world operating beyond the reach of the rabbit holes. The forums, once a source of isolation, now became a battleground. Amelia began to identify patterns in the Curator's manipulation, recognizing their methods as a form of psychological warfare. The obstacles were not just technical, they were psychological, designed to break her resolve. This growing awareness, however, was intertwined with a personal subplot. A cryptic message, seemingly from a forgotten friend, resurfaced. It hinted at a connection to the Curator, a connection Amelia had never anticipated. This revelation added a layer of personal conflict, forcing her to confront not only the digital threat, but also her own past. The inciting incident arrived in the form of a chilling message, a stark warning posted on a seemingly innocuous forum. A message seemingly simple, yet laced with a cryptic threat. It spoke of a looming digital apocalypse, a consequence of the rabbit hole's manipulation. The message shattered the fragile illusion of safety Amelia had built within the digital world. This unexpected event ignited a spark of urgency within Amelia. The quiet desperation she felt had been transformed into a burning need for action. The threat was no longer theoretical, it was real. The status quo had been irrevocably altered. The line between digital exploration and personal danger had been crossed. The community of dissenters, previously a faint echo, suddenly became a crucial lifeline. Their fragmented messages, once cryptic, now held a newfound clarity. They were calling for action, for a unified front against the Curator's control. This sparked a desperate race against time, a struggle to understand the threat and find a way to stop it. Amelia, recognizing the gravity of the situation, realized she couldn't remain a passive observer. The Curator's manipulation had reached a critical point, and the consequences were terrifying. The rabbit holes, once a source of fascination, now threatened to consume not just her, but the entire digital world. Her motivations were now amplified. She was no longer simply seeking understanding, she was fighting for survival. The initial conflict had morphed into a full-blown struggle against a powerful, unseen force. The digital landscape had become a battlefield, and Amelia was now a reluctant soldier. The chilling warning reverberated through the forums, triggering a cascade of unsettling events. Users vanished, their digital footprints erased, as if they'd never existed. The forums, once bustling with activity, now echoed with fear and uncertainty. Amelia felt the weight of responsibility, the realization that her actions had unforeseen consequences. New challenges arose in the form of cryptic messages, deliberately placed to mislead and confuse. The Curator's influence seemed to tighten, the digital threads tightening around Amelia's digital persona. She was no longer just navigating a labyrinth. She was trapped in a cage of her own making. A new character emerged. Elias, a seasoned hacker, whispered within the digital shadows. He offered Amelia cryptic advice, his past shrouded in mystery. His motivations were as complex as the digital world itself, a mixture of altruism and a thirst for knowledge. Their unlikely alliance formed a critical subplot, adding another layer of intrigue to the conflict. The rabbit holes themselves seemed to shift and morph, their boundaries blurring. The once distinct spaces now intertwined, creating a single, terrifying digital landscape. The lines between reality and illusion continued to fade, making it harder for Amelia to distinguish truth from manipulation. A hidden server, rumored to hold the key to understanding the Curator, was discovered. Its location, however, was protected by a series of complex digital puzzles. The pursuit of this server became a new objective, a crucial step in understanding the extent of the Curator's power. Amelia's motivations deepened. She wasn't just fighting for her own survival, she was fighting for the digital world's sanity. The rising action was pushing her to her limits, testing her resilience and forcing her to confront the darkness within herself and the digital realm. The conflicts escalated, the stakes growing higher with each passing hour. The dissenters' messages became more urgent, their pleas for help more desperate. Amelia felt the weight of their fate on her shoulders, realizing the magnitude of the threat she faced. Elias, the enigmatic hacker, revealed a dark secret about his past, a secret connected to the Curator. His motivations became less clear, his loyalty questioned. This revelation introduced a new layer of complexity to their alliance, creating a dilemma for Amelia. Could she trust him? The rabbit holes intensified their attacks, blurring the lines between the digital and the real. Amelia found herself increasingly isolated, her connection to the physical world fading. The digital realm was consuming her, threatening to swallow her whole. A new subplot emerged, a hidden online community dedicated to preserving digital history discovered a pattern in the Curator's manipulation. They believed the rabbit holes were not just disturbing, they were a deliberate attempt to erase specific data points from the internet's collective memory. The dissenters, now facing a direct threat, began to splinter. Disagreements over strategy and trust in Elias escalated, threatening to unravel their fragile alliance. Amelia found herself caught in the middle, forced to choose sides and navigate the treacherous waters of this digital conflict. The tension between Amelia and Elias reached a breaking point. Their differing approaches to the conflict, their contrasting motivations and the weight of their shared mission created a chasm. Amelia realized that trust, in both the digital world and within herself, was a fragile commodity in this escalating crisis. A pivotal moment arrived when Amelia discovered a hidden message within the dissenters' network, a message hinting at the Curator's true identity. This revelation shattered her understanding of the conflict, forcing her to confront a truth far more disturbing than she could have imagined. The hidden server, a key to understanding the Curator's methods, proved more complex than anticipated. Its access required a series of interconnected challenges, pushing Amelia to her intellectual and emotional limits. She faced not only the digital obstacles, but also her own doubts and fears. Elias's true nature began to unravel. His cryptic advice, once seen as helpful, now seemed calculated, designed to manipulate her. Amelia, grappling with this new understanding, questioned her own judgment and the nature of trust in the digital world. The dissenters, fractured by internal conflict, were on the verge of collapse. Amelia, realizing the importance of unity, sought a way to bridge the divides within their ranks. Her leadership was tested, forcing her to make difficult choices. The rabbit holes intensified their attacks, blurring the line between the virtual and the physical. Amelia felt a growing sense of isolation, her connection to the real world fraying. The climax loomed, a confrontation not just with the Curator, but with her own sanity. The turning point came when Amelia, using the fragmented knowledge she had gathered, deciphered a hidden code within the server. This code, she realized, held the key to stopping the Curator's plan. The final pieces of the puzzle were falling into place, setting the stage for the climax of the story. Amelia, armed with the deciphered code, began a series of minor confrontations within the rabbit holes. These skirmishes, though seemingly small, served as crucial tests of her resolve, foreshadowing the larger battle to come. Each victory, however slight, fueled her determination. A minor plot resolution emerged as a key ally. A hidden figure within the dissenters stepped forward. This individual, known only as Cipher, possessed a unique skill set crucial for navigating the increasingly complex digital landscape. Their alliance strengthened Amelia's position. The rabbit holes, sensing a shift in the balance of power, intensified their attacks. Minor betrayals within the dissenters' ranks tested Amelia's trust, forcing her to confront the fragility of alliances in the digital world. These betrayals were not full-blown betrayals, but cracks in the foundation of their unity. Foreshadowing the climax, cryptic messages appeared across the forums, hinting at the Curator's final move. These messages, delivered with a chilling precision, warned of the consequences of failing to stop their plan. The tension thickened, a palpable weight pressing down on Amelia. Elias, caught between his loyalty to Amelia and his hidden agenda, made a crucial decision. His actions, though initially ambiguous, ultimately served to strengthen Amelia's position, although not without consequence. The digital landscape itself began to shift, the once distinct rabbit holes merging into a single, overwhelming entity. The stage was set. The minor confrontations were a dress rehearsal for the final climactic battle, a final test of wills in the digital world. The final tensions mounted, a palpable pressure building within the digital ether. The rabbit holes unleashed a barrage of increasingly sophisticated attacks designed to break Amelia's resolve and expose her vulnerabilities. The stakes were higher than ever. Cipher, Amelia's unexpected ally, presented a final challenge, a complex puzzle hidden within the dissenters' network. Its solution was crucial to accessing the server and thwarting the Curator's plan. This final obstacle tested not only Amelia's skills, but also her faith in those around her. Elias's actions took a decisive turn, his motivations finally revealed. His past actions, once shrouded in mystery, now fell into place, revealing a complex web of motivations and allegiances. His ultimate decision, however, would determine the outcome of the conflict. The dissenters, fractured by earlier conflicts, faced a final test of unity. Their internal divisions threatened to derail their efforts, jeopardizing their chance to stop the Curator. Amelia, understanding the gravity of the situation, worked tirelessly to mend the rifts within their ranks. The final obstacles were not just digital, they were emotional. Amelia's past trauma resurfaced, threatening to overwhelm her. The weight of the digital world, the burden of the Curator's plan, and the potential loss of her allies pressed down on her. All narrative threads converged. The rabbit hole's attacks intensified, the dissenters' unity was tested, and Elias's final decision hung in the balance. The climax was imminent, a final showdown in the digital realm, where the fate of the internet itself hung precariously in the balance. The climax arrived in a blinding flash of digital light. Amelia, facing the Curator in a final confrontation, used the deciphered code to shut down the central server controlling the rabbit holes. The digital landscape shuddered, the interconnected spaces collapsing, the subplots converged. Elias, having made his choice, joined Amelia in the final battle, his past actions now justified. Cipher's unique skills proved invaluable in the final moments, their combined efforts shattering the Curator's control. The alliance, though tested, held firm. The rabbit holes, stripped of their power, began to unravel. The echoes of self-harm, extremism, and forbidden knowledge faded, replaced by a sense of quiet calm. The digital landscape, once a source of fear, began to heal. The main conflicts resolved. The Curator's plan was thwarted, their attempt to erase digital history foiled. The dissenters, united by their shared victory, emerged stronger, their voices now echoing across the digital realm. Amelia, having faced her demons and emerged victorious, understood the power of connection and resilience in the digital age. The experience had changed her, leaving indelible marks on her soul. She knew that the internet, while a powerful tool, could be a source of both darkness and light. She had to continue to fight for the light. Now, more than ever, she was committed to safeguarding the digital world. The digital dust settled, leaving behind a transformed landscape. Amelia, scarred but resolute, emerged from the ordeal. She had faced the darkness and emerged stronger, her perspective forever altered. Elias, having confronted his past, found a new purpose, dedicated to protecting the digital world. Cipher, the silent guardian, remained a mystery, their presence a constant reminder of the unseen forces at play. The dissenters, united and empowered, continued their vigil. The rabbit holes, once gateways to despair, now lay dormant, their whispers silenced. The echoes of self-harm, extremism, and forbidden knowledge were muted, replaced by a fragile sense of hope. The internet, though scarred, was not broken. Amelia, reflecting on her journey, understood the importance of vigilance and the power of community in the digital age. She realized that the internet was a reflection of humanity, capable of both immense cruelty and extraordinary compassion. Her experience became a beacon, a warning and a testament. The epilogue hinted at a future where the internet, protected by those who understood its dangers, would continue to evolve. The scars remained, a reminder of the battle fought and won. But now Amelia stood ready, a guardian of the digital realm, forever vigilant against the return of the darkness. Educate yourself about the dangers lurking in the online world. Be a protector of the digital space.